Welcome back to WMAC Now with your host, Chuck Simpson, coming at you with a CFFC announcement. So, Cage Fury Fighting Championship 146 goes down on September 26th in North Dakota. They've announced an Atomweight bout. They don't do Atomweight bouts too often, but they're doing one for this one. Victoria Vortex Anthony taking on Natty Ice Schlesinger. Should be good. I'm not too familiar with either fighter, but an atomweight bout on a Fight Pass card is definitely something that drew the eyes. And then I looked up Victoria Anthony's wrestling credentials, and she is a highly credentialed wrestler, very highly credentialed. So that got my interest. And then just as a test to see how widely known she is, I mentioned it to my boss and at work, and he knew right away. He's like, "Ooh," he's like, "Yeah, I definitely know her." And he's a big wrestling nut, like amateur freestyle wrestling. Hates Greco-Roman, but follows high school wrestling, college, all that stuff. So way bigger than wrestling nut than I am. So that definitely gave me reason to notice as well. So before I get any more into them, let's talk about the stats on this one. So Victoria Anthony is making her debut. She is 3-1 as an amateur. Natty Ice Schlesinger is 3-3 as a pro. So definitely the more experienced fighter. Now, Anthony has not fought since August of 2023. Picked up a unanimous decision win. Schlesinger fought back in January. Dropped a decision loss to Hillary Rose. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Schlesinger is the younger fighter, 26-34 for Victoria Vortex. Surprisingly, there is a height discrepancy here. 5 feet 2 inches, 157 centimeters for Schlesinger. 4 feet 10 inches, 147 centimeters for Victoria Vortex, if topology is accurate on this one. No reach given for Anthony. Schlesinger has a reach of 59 inches, 150 centimeters, so very short reach for her. So looking at both of these fighters, because I wasn't too familiar with either of them, Schlesinger is definitely the more experienced fighter. I mean, she's had, 3 fights. 3 of her 6 pro fights have come since Victoria Anthony's last amateur bout. I'd say her best win was over undefeated Isabel LaCroix last year in June. LaCroix was 3-0 at the time. Nothing else really stands out on her record, so can't really say too much about her other than that. I do like the nickname Natty Ice. That's a pretty cool nickname. Victoria Anthony, on the other hand, now, she hasn't fought in MMA in a while, but she's been pretty busy. I mean, I think she's just finally ending her wrestling career. But so I got these stats off of an advertisement she did for a wrestling camp. She is a 2-time Olympic alternate, 2-time U.S. World Team member, 3 times Pan American champion, first ever 4 times women's collegiate national champion, 2 times was that 3R world champion. I'm not familiar with what that means. 2 times junior world champion, Southern Section boys CIF champion, and she has a judo black belt. Now, whether that's like just straight up competitive judo or like Olympic type judo, or whether she has like some really good submission chops as well, I don't know. But man, yeah, those are some pretty good wrestling chops. So that's what really got me interested in what she brings to the game. So I'm guessing we're going to get a very grappling heavy approach from her. From Schlesinger, I'm not as sure. Looks like she fights out of Driven Gym in New Jersey. Not really familiar with them, but we'll see. I got to give CFFC CFFC credit, because you look at the other promotions on Fight Pass and they don't do anything outside of the weight classes that the UFC has. But CFFC will occasionally have some oddball fights like a women's featherweight or women's atomweight bout. They haven't had any atomweight bouts in a while, but it's nice to see this one. CFFC in South Dakota is a little unusual. They're mostly East Coast, but it looks like it's at the Four Bears Casino, so I'm guessing they got a site fee. But I like CFFC. They don't do like too many blatant mismatches like some of the other Fight Pass promotions do. They're honestly one of the better promotions on UFC Fight Pass. So, like I said, this one goes down. Nope, my notebook closed. Give me a second. What? September 26th. That is a Friday. So keep your eyes out on that. Victoria Anthony versus Natalie Schlesinger, CFFC on Friday, September 26th on UFC Fight Pass. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button, and thanks for watching WMA Now, the best, most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.